Hello and welcome to this mini element series. Today's class will be focused around the element earth. My name is Tati. Welcome to those of you new here and welcome back to those who have practiced with me before. So our 4-part element series can be done in any order, or you can just pick one of them. In traditional Chinese medicine, in Ayurveda, in yoga, there are many different elements associated with different parts of the body, different qualities, and it's quite interesting. Sometimes we're attracted to the elements that we already have a bit of an excess in. So of course, like with everything in life, it's good to have a balance. And often if we're a fiery personality, we tend to be drawn towards fiery practices. It might mean that our kind of predominant energy that comes through is maybe anger, or maybe we're a more grounded person, so we're naturally drawn towards activities that are more grounded and slow and more dependable. But yeah, I hope that you enjoy this class. If you haven't already subscribed, please do that. It really helps support the channel and it's free to do. And with that, I'd say let's get started on our bellies today. So finding your way onto the tummy, resting the hands so you can bring the forearms parallel and then rest the forehead on the little stack that you created with your hands. And just arriving in the practice here. So noticing how your physical body feels right now. Noticing how you feel emotionally right now. And what's going on in your mental body. What thoughts are flying past. And just take this moment to really feel connected and held by the earth. So the thighs are pressing into the earth. The belly is gently being massaged by the pressure of the earth. And of course, if you don't feel comfortable lying on your belly, you can always come onto the back, although we will be doing quite a few poses on the belly, so if for whatever reason this is not accessible to your body today, maybe skip this class and try out one of the other element classes, and you can always come back to this one when more appropriate. And then inhale from here. We're going to slide the forearms parallel to each other, so the elbows are just underneath the shoulders, palms are facing down, peeling the chest forward, keeping the chin slightly tucked, and feeling that gentle back bend. Again, if this is too much, you can always come back down onto more of the chest and rib cage. Sphinx pose. And exhale, release, pressing yourself through the hands all the way into child's pose. So knees are wide, big toes touching, melting the upper body forward. Grounded and connected to the earth. And then slowly moving yourself back onto the belly. So we can move slowly with earth. Sometimes there's bursts of growth. Often we lie dormant during winter. So moving at your speed today. Next pose, stretching the left arm straight out to the side. Right hand can rest alongside the right shoulder. And this can be quite a strong stretch. So if this feels like it's enough, stay here. Otherwise, you can roll onto the left hip. Right foot can rest on top of the left foot, or you can bring the foot behind, forming a little kickstand. So what you're doing here is really opening up that left shoulder. The right toes are rooted in the earth, providing that stability. The right hand is rooted. It might be your left temple or cheek that's making connection with the earth. And just sending the breath throughout the body here. Again, connecting to the sensations. And exhale. Release, rolling yourself all the way back onto the belly, bringing the left hand in, finding back into sphinx, opening the chest. And exhale, release, stretching the right arm to the side, left hand comes alongside the left shoulder, staying here, placing the right cheek or temple on the mat, maybe rolling over onto the right hip. Left foot can rest on the right or bringing it behind, forming your little kickstand. And feeling into the sensation. Sending the breath into the shoulders. Never to the point of pain though. We want to challenge ourselves, but we don't want to hurt ourselves. So if this feels too intense, definitely a sign to come out of it. And exhale, release, rolling yourself back onto the belly, back into sphinx. An option if you'd like it a bit stronger to come into seal pose, or pose in yin, but we won't be holding it as long. So bringing the fingertips about mat width distance apart. If possible, you can straighten the arms. This is very intense, so only go here if your body is feeling warm enough and in the right space to do this. And exhale, release, resting forward on the mat, the arms are cactused open. And gently rocking the hips from side to side, releasing tension in the lower spine and hips. And from here, pressing yourself all the way through all fours, tabletop position, rolling out the spine in one direction and the opposite direction. And then from here, tucking the toes, pressing the hips up and back, downward facing dog, pedaling out the feet. So you're rooted through all 10 fingers, you're rooted through all 10 toes. The heels don't have to touch the earth, but think about really letting them sink down to create more space. You can keep a mini bend in the knees to bring that belly towards the thighs. Letting the head relax. Breathing deeply into the belly. And exhale, release. Step it forward. Finding a halfway lift. Fingertips can rest on the shins or on the mat. Exhale, fold it forward. So taking a deep bend in the knee. Walking the feet hip width apart. So there's a deep enough bend in the knee that the chest can rest on the thighs. The hands can rest on the mat. Relaxing the upper body, the head, maybe rocking gently from side to side. Also the option to hold on to opposite elbows. So now you're really rooting through the toes, finding the stability and the connection with earth. Sense the big toes, the second toes,
third, fourth, and first toes. Feel the heels on the earth. And then inhale, releasing the arms, slowly rolling one vertebra at a time. All the way up into standing, rolling out the shoulders. Finding into mountain pose. So just rooting through. Finding a nice tall spine. I'm taking a bit of a wider stance between my feet so they're about hip width apart, but you can also bring the big toes to touch. Relaxed shoulders, palms facing forward. And I invite you to close the eyes if you are okay with your balance. And tune inwards to the point where you are making contact with the earth. Of course, the outline of our body makes contact with the air. But really focusing at the point where you feel that solid ground beneath your feet. Inhale, open the eyes, sweeping the arms up. Exhale, fold it forward. Inhale, halfway lift, nice flat back. Plant the palms, step it back into high plank. Staying in plank, lowering the knees or keeping them lifted and flowing through chaturanga, bending at the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog, heeling the chest forward. And exhale, tucking the back toes, rolling back, downward facing dog. Hips come up and back. And then step it forward, halfway lift. Exhale, folding over the arms. Inhale, root to rise. And exhale, palms at the chest, finding into Samastiti. Flowing through some balancing poses now. So inhale, rooting the left foot, really finding that contact, lifting the right knee up towards the chest, embracing the wobbles. And then inhale, bringing the right foot. I'm actually going to come face you this way. Bringing the right foot to the inside of the thigh, or you can also place it on the ankle or calf, wherever feels like it's accessible to you today. So we're rooted in our tree. You can play around with the arm variations. So I currently have them at heart prayer. You can also place them on the hips. Open up into a cactus shape, lifting up the branches of your tree. Really taking whatever feels fun here. And if you wobble, that's totally okay and part of the process. Just come back in and exhale from here. I'll move back this way. Bringing the knee back up towards the chest and straightening out the right leg as far as you can. This one really burns. I don't love this one, but it's really great to strengthen. So pressing that heel towards the earth, right toes point up. And exhale, knee back into the chest and step it back into high lunge. So we're squaring off the hips, lifting the arms up, gazing forward. Finding length and a strong foundation. Lots of strength, stable qualities in the lower half of the body. And then spaciousness and lightness in the arms. So the shoulders are sinking. The arms feel light. And exhale, floating the arms forward. Coming through plank, optional vinyasa, or coming straight into downward facing dog. We all meet in downward facing dog. Inhale, step, jump or hop to the front of the mat. Halfway lift. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, sweeping the arms up towards the sky. And bringing the hands to prayer. Rooting into the right foot, lifting the left leg. And then coming into tree pose. I won't move this time, but hopefully you can imagine where it would look. Left foot inside of thigh, calf or ankle, playing with whatever arm variation you did on the other side. Maybe even doing something fun behind the back, so reverse prayer. Know that infinite patience brings immediate results. So we can get impatient and frustrated, we wobble out, but just be patient with yourself. Practice and know that it's all part of the process. Release, bringing the left foot back in towards the chest, rooting through that standing foot, and then stretching out the left toes, left leg to the front of the room, left toes up, heel presses down. Ooh, my left thigh is on fire. And then exhale, bending the knee back into the chest and stepping it back, landing in high lunge with the right leg forward. Inhale, sweeping the arms up, finding length, stable foundation. Infinite patience brings immediate results. Exhale, frame the front foot, step it back through plank, flowing through your chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. And from here, dropping the knees, walking the hands towards the front of the mat, wider than shoulder width. Then melting the hips down into melting heart pose. Sorry, so the hips are above the knees, the back is straight, melting the chest and the forehead towards the earth. Releasing, starting to slow down. And then sliding forward back onto the belly, coming back to where we started and finding into frog pose. So again, the arms are parallel to one another, or you can have them so that they're parallel to the front of the mat. So you're holding onto the opposite elbows, right leg stays straight, and then sliding the left knee to come in line with the left hip. Again, this foot can either draw in, the left foot, or you can have the shin parallel to the long end of the mat. Resting the forehead down. And letting all the layers of the body release. Feeling held by the earth. And with the next exhalation, switching sides, so straightening the left leg. If you had one arm on top, you can switch directions, or if you're clasping the elbows, and then drawing the right knee into line with the right hip. Right shin parallel to the long end of the mat, and resting yourself onto the mat. Checking back in with how does your physical body feel now? How does the emotional body feel? How are you feeling? And just acknowledging whatever's there. Notice the quality of your thoughts, perhaps. They've slowed down a bit, perhaps not. It doesn't really matter. What matters is that we're aware of what's going on inside us, around us. And just bringing that awareness to what's happening right now. Release, bringing the leg back to the mat. From here, maybe bending into the knees and then windscreen wiping the legs from side to side. And then finding back to a flat position, bringing the hands into a little stack, resting the head on top of the stack. Thanking yourself for making this time today to connect to your earth element, to practice and do something good for yourself. Remember that infinite patience brings immediate results. Everything in its time. And slowly, when you're ready, pressing yourself all the way up into a seated position, and bringing the hands in prayer, bowing the gaze. Namaste. Thank you very much for practicing this earth element as part of the 4-part series with me today. If you haven't already tried the other classes, I really hope to see you in those. And of course, if you haven't subscribed and liked, please do. It really helps support my channel. And let me know in the comments if you're enjoying the series. If you've tried any of the other classes, let me know which one is your favorite one. Or just let me know with a little tree emoji that you're practicing with me. In real life, I can always see, my students and you as my wonderful online community. I always like to know that you're there. So by leaving that emoji, I know that you're practicing with me, and I just love seeing where in the world everyone is coming from. And yeah, I hope to see you soon. All my love.